We are going off the rails. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show dedicated to Disney and tangents. I am your host, Frank, and today I am joined alongside by some awesome people, including Deni Sunderly.
Hey there.
And Rhino.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. We have a great episode coming up for you in just a moment. But before we get to that, I want to remind you that this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money. You get the support of an awesome Dreams Unlimited Travel agent. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Now, this is a big episode for us because I'm going on vacation for a couple weeks. So that means I'm going to be gone. And this is the last off the rails you're going to have for quite a bit of time. I don't know how long it will be until we get back because we have to come up with a strategy moving forward, because the bigger news that I had to bury with it is because I'm going on vacation, and I think Deni would be on a cruise next week anyways, and then just, you know, life is getting very fast for all of us. This will unfortunately be Deni's final time going off the rails.
This is it.
It is.
This is it. I'm leaving because you're going on vacation.
That's what happens to most people in this company. They're like, you know what? I never wanted to leave, but Craig, you're going on vacation.
Forget it.
And because of that, I choose to leave.
That's it.
And the irony is, though, that has happened before, but I am it's okay. It's something about me. It's something about me that it's like, oh, Craig left. Now that we're not under his rule, let's run away.
Gotta go.
I'm keeping my eyes on Rhino, though. He's not going anywhere.
Oh, no.
Yeah, now that you know.
I'm watching you.
I'm watching you.
Always watching.
Exactly. So this is, we've come full circle. I think we're on like our 60th-ish episode of Off the Rails, somewhere in there.
Wow.
It's called Stall for Time right now.
Soup.
You know what? That's one. Soup. Yeah. What's that? What are you having for lunch today, Rhino?
Hot dog. Hot dog.
That is such a weird lunch choice.
There was kielbasa on the cruise.
Was there?
Yeah, on the Disney Wish christening cruise. Deni, you must try the barbecue area on the top deck. I can't remember what it was called.
Barbecue
it was
area.
One of the
top
characters.
Deck.
Yeah, like Donald's barbecue or something.
Okay.
Well, it was Donald's Cantina.
Yes.
For the barbecue. I think it was Mickey's barbecue.
Maybe
Minnie had
Mickey.
the ice cream.
Daisy had the pizza. And you know what? She made a good pizza.
Yeah.
What?
So you got to try the pizza.
It
looks like you're going to look
big.
at it and be like, no, but you try it. It was good pizza. I know it's not an official review. We were guests, but I will tell you, I went back for that pizza multiple times.
It was different pizza than the pizza on the other.
Yeah.
No,
really?
You know, I like
the thinnest
I like
of crusts.
it,
Yeah, I like the pizza on the other ships, but this one was like very thin, flaky crust.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
It was like the flattest of bread, not a flatbread because it was legit pizza, but it was like just like what's the thing people do sometimes with their air fryer? The tortilla pizza. It feels like it's sort of like that, sort of like so thin. The barbecue and the cantina as well, because that was also good. Really, all that grab and go quick service stuff was good. So you got to make sure you're trying it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine is Goofy's Grill. Like, I mean, it's Goofy's
It was hot
Grill.
dogs and hamburgers. Yeah. But you could get like an Impossible Burger and stuff like that there. So that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I almost grabbed. And then I was like, let me like walk around and see what else. I saw the barbecue and I was like, I forgot that they were going to have barbecue on here. Instant get. I said, give me a little bit of everything. And my tray was loaded up with everything.
Sauces too. You got it. They have a bunch of sauces off to the side. You got to get the sauces. Yeah. The hot barbecue was real good.
Yeah. Hot barbecue, regular, and a mustard one.
Yeah.
I love mustard.
I'm a mustard sauce fan when it comes to barbecue. So I recommend trying that one.
Oh, I used the hot barbecue in my cantina bowl because it wasn't on that side. So I walked around, poured it on top.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because then Corey came around the bend and he's holding a burrito. And I'm like, where did you get a freaking burrito? And I'm sitting there saying, I almost wasted calories on an Impossible Burger when there was pizza, there was literally build your own burritos, bowls, tacos, and then barbecue. So
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've written it down. Burrito.
I mean, you still have to look at the options in Marceline and such. I looked at the lunch options in like 1923 and nothing like jumped out to me. So I
didn't do that one for lunch.
Yeah, I went back up. I skipped Marceline for like a second time and went back to the Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I only was in Marceline once, to be honest with you. I think it was just right at the end of that first day, because then that stuff on deck was so good that I was like, I need to go back and try the other stuff each time. And like I locked through Marceline. Mm-hmm. No, I think I did breakfast. I did breakfast in there too. So I made sure to have a breakfast and a lunch, and then it's try it all. Try everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is serendipitous timing with this episode because I didn't realize the number that we are actually on. So we're going to pretend that Deni is a Jedi today, and this is episode 66.
Order
so
66.
we're
as long as I'm not Anakin, that's fine.
No, you're leaving us. So
I'm
I
leaving.
guess, yeah,
I'm a
you're
youngling?
being purged of the Jedi Order. Yeah.
I'm a youngling.
Yeah, you're a youngling.
This is not boding well.
No, it's not. So Order 66, I demanded on this week's episode. But I wanted this to just be a lighthearted chat with Deni because this is her last one. It's kind of funny. This is a full circle moment for us. Obviously, Jackie is not here. These, again, have all been recorded on the fly because of Disney Wish and everything that's been happening. We have not been able to set a time to actually record in bulk like we used to. Otherwise, you'd probably be seeing Deni for a couple more weeks beyond that. It's how it goes. But this show literally started as it was kind of like a follow-up podcast on it was a year ago.
I thought it was the replacement for Best and Worst.
Yes.
Well, no, it didn't originally start as the replacement for Best and Worst. We started with the festival episode because we had talked about the festivals on a Tuesday show, but we all felt like we didn't really get to discuss festivals. So then we said, okay, well, I don't remember which one they were promoting. It was probably Flower and Garden or something. And so we said, okay, well, what if we did like a thing where we just like talked more about it? So the first one we did was where we said like our thoughts on all the different festivals and then like any ideas for any festivals that we might create with it.
That's
and
right. Okay.
That was the first one that started with the three of us, and Pete watched it and said, if you're going to do more of these, you need to add another person in, because that was back in our days of doing
or whatever.
Yeah, we were doing our remote shows. And because of that, if we wanted to do the where we're all on screen at the same time, so it's a lot easier for us to interact, it looked ugly with only 3 people going across. And so then we were like, okay, who else would drop everything they're doing to just do it blindly? And that was Jackie.
The amazing Jackie.
Yep. So Jackie got added on to the next episode, and it all went from there. And we have not really looked back.
Nope.
In that way. But
nope. That was a fun first episode because we kind of sat there going, okay, what are we going to call this?
Yeah.
And it was Hot Take was one of the
and what the first
was one of the names.
We recorded like half of that episode, I think, and it was Hot Takes.
Hot Takes.
Yeah,
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, because then I think like All Ears released a video right as soon as we finished recording it. That was like Hot Takes on something. I was like, son of a biscuit, we cannot. Yeah, everyone's just going to think that we're stealing from them if we release it. I think that's how it worked. And from there, it became off the rails. Maybe we did look at it as a replacement for Best and Worst, but
I think it was supposed to move in to that slot.
It was supposed to, because then it was like we could still talk about those topics, but be able to have like a better conversation with more people. And we said that I felt like that Best and Worst kind of like pigeonholes you into it's just black and white topics, and it's just kind of like I feel like we had kind of reached an end to that, and then this was a little more like free form discussion that we could still talk about literally the same topics that we would talk about on Best and Worst, but just a better conversation around it.
Okay. I like that explanation. We're gonna go with that. I don't even remember how it started anymore. I just remember it was the 3 of us in festivals, and I think I put Darth Vader in front of Spaceship Earth, maybe, as the thumbnail image. I think. I don't remember now. It's okay though. So Deni.
Yes.
I don't know even how to have this conversation with it, but you've had fun while you were here, right?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, I've had so much fun. Are you kidding me? This is the fun I didn't know I was going to get to have in my life. Like, it sounds really dramatic, but it's true. Because, as somebody who's listened to this, this channel and all the shows for so long, to get to be here is crazy, and to get to sit at this table and talk with you all is so much fun. And Off the Rails was always this wonderful little band of of people who just needed to talk about stuff. And sometimes we talked about Disney, and sometimes we talked about Pizza Huts, and it was just perfect. Always fun.
Yeah. So what do you think was your favorite? I'm going to start with, what do you think was your favorite off the It probably had to be when the whole Pizza Hut thing evolved. I don't want to pigeonhole you into that, but that might have been the dumbest thing that we've ever fell into with this show.
Dumbest and
guys,
best.
There's nothing wrong talking about your dreams.
That's right. Amen. Amen. And for Rhino, that is a legitimate dream. I was so excited to see a real Pizza Hut in Maryland. And I've been to that Pizza Hut before and forgot it was there. And I was sitting there at an intersection and goes, my gosh, there's a Pizza Hut. And I told my mom, I got to take a picture real quick. So that was, do you want just highlights or biggest things off the rails specific?
Let's start there and then go everywhere. Go all over.
It literally, and it's just the conversations that we get to have, just getting to sit here, because I walk away from those conversations with you all and go, how did I get here exactly, and why, and how much fun is this? And the fact that you all, that you at home listen to anything that I might have to say, or we might have to say, or watch a show that we're on, it's just incredibly humbling. And it's just fun. This is so, literally, there are no expectations for the show.
Oh, yeah.
That is just freeing, so that we're not getting in here going, okay, we've got to get in and out during a certain time frame, or we've got to hit these many points. Like, a lot of times we start these conversations, as is readily apparent, I'm sure, to the home viewer, without a projected path or plan. Mm-hmm. And so, like last week, we didn't even fully know what was going on until the whole shebang started. Well, although we did have to start twice, so maybe. But it's just so fun to go, you know what? This gets to be whatever it wants to be. And Frank, at some point, you will close the conversation. And I love it for being just that, because it's really just a conversation between friends. And those are the most fun conversations to tune into. Those are the conversations I've always enjoyed, is just, when the team kind of gets off on a tangent, off the rails, so to speak, and starts to fill in some of the gaps and some of the blanks along the way. Those are the most fun.
They are the most fun. It's very strange, because I know half of each episode is just usually pure and utter nonsense, unless it's the ones that we haven't really had fun recording. And on those ones, it's like, we'll just stick to the topic and try to wrap it up as quickly as possible. But I've been scrolling through, looking at some of the shows that we recorded and looking at the names for them, and I'm like, I don't even remember what we talked about in most of these, beyond because I know what we said based on the names of them and what the general premise was. But then it's just some of the weird conversations that we've ended up having have just been so off the wall. And sorry.
Speaking of which, I would like to issue an apology to Sam Eagle for last week for forgetting him. I would absolutely love to have Sam Eagle at my lunch table, and I completely neglected Sam Eagle.
Why would you want Sam Eagle at your lunch table?
Because he cracks me up, and he's got little feathery fingers, and they're just really cute when he moves his hands. those little feathers.
Feathers getting in your food. Terrible idea.
Terrible.
Also, with that too, he's basically the principal of the school. I feel like if there's going to be a principal, it's going to be Sam Eagle. So, or at the very worst, he'd be like
he'd be a vice principal because he's the guy who like is so perfect. He's the Dwight Schrute of the office. Like he wants everything to be perfect, and follow the rules, but he's doing it in a weird way.
I was also going to say like the lunch room monitor, like a hall monitor sort, but just there to
fair.
He'd be the annoying one, like you have not eaten all of your carrot sticks.
Those eyebrows.
To not eat your carrot sticks is distinctly unpatriotic. Why am I doing Yoda with it too? That's
good.
weird.
To
eat your carrot sticks, you must.
That's awesome.
No, it's okay. You can add Sam Eagle to your lunchroom table, but don't. I wouldn't recommend
That's
it.
okay.
No. Love the character, just don't love all that he stands for. But okay, so you kind of went off the rails. What's been some of the highlights that you've experienced over the past couple years working here with the Diz? I know most of it was during a pandemic.
But
so that kind of threw a wrench in the system for a lot of things.
Darn it.
In terms of like in-park coverage, what was some of your favorite things that you got to do and outside of the shows?
Okay. I will never forget covering Mickey's Not So Scary.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I got to go to a media event prior to going. So we were over in Epcot and in the World Showplace, and we were covering things over there. And then we got on a bus and they took us over to the Magic Kingdom. And that was my first experience of kind of getting backdoored into the park, which was really, really cool. I mean, I've done like backstage things before, but like on a tour or something like that. So getting to do that was really, really cool. And then getting in the park and going, okay, I need to cover all the things that I know the team needs to cover. Like I had already been on the team for months at that point, a few months. So I knew what needed to be covered, but just the pace of it and watching you process, because for you, the biggest thing was, where do I want to stand for these fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I stand so I get the best coverage? So you kind of found you ran around and did things, and then you found your spot, and I just ran around and tried to cover as much as I possibly could. And it was a long, sweaty evening in the Magic Kingdom. There was so much humidity that night. And I remember going, oh my gosh, my hair on these videos is just going to be an absolute train wreck. And then I had in the back of my mind, oh yeah, we need to do an outro for this video. And it was at like, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And we're all standing out front of the Magic Kingdom, and we're all needing to give our thoughts, our summation of our experience at the event. I'm like, how the crap am I supposed to speak, with any, coherence at this moment? And oh my gosh, but it was so much fun just getting to stand there and give my 2 cents worth with the team. I've rewatched that video since, and I am a bit of a hot mess, but it is what it is.
No, I mean, that really was your first experience with it, because that was always a terrible way we did things. And hopefully we can fix it at some point.
Wait, what year was
that?
Was that 2018? Is that what you said? 2019?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
I remember going, it is really late and I am so tired and I have to try to string words together right now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's because that's like the behind the scenes. If you ever see us at a party, you will see Rhino and I usually starting at, I'll say like 12:10ish, because we're probably on like a ride or finishing up any last things around midnight, or like if it was one of the times where like the Hocus Pocus show would roll over past midnight, you'd be doing that. And then you start the long walk down Main Street where you film B-roll of all of the buildings and get all the decorations. So we usually wouldn't get to the end until right at, about 12:30, 12:40, sometimes in that time period. And then it's like, okay, everyone who went with us, you need to stick around because you need to talk about it. But we we obviously have to be, we have to watch for security in terms of clearing out the park. So we have to do this thing, and then we'll get to that, because we can always do that outside of the turnstiles if we have to. And it was a harsh reality for the people who were like done at 10:30 and like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go home. Like,
you're not.
No, you're not. If we have to stay, you have to stay.
Park it.
So
well, and more as far as highlights are concerned, I getting to do best and worst with you, Rhino, actually in park
that was fun.
So much fun.
I will often think back on the day we did the Epcot one, and I was like, my gosh, this was so much more involved than I thought it was going to be. And like, but you had the pieces of paper all printed out and everything, and we went around, and I remember, like, it's one of those things I talk to Craig about sometimes, where I was like, if only there was a format that allowed for like a show sort of pseudo in the park, but it is a lot of work to have to do one of those things.
I think you and I about Japan went, oh dear.
We're like, oh, we don't have that much far left, do we? And we're like 8 countries or something like that. And I was like, oh gosh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is the day that will never end. But it was so much fun just getting to hang out with you and kind of put our 2 cents worth, and to be on location was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also look back on it was never published, so I put it on Patreon, but the Know Before We Go segments that you and I had started to do together, that we kind of just pulled together in like a matter of like 2 hours or something like that, but like trying to rush and film it before it got too dark, but also being like, I don't actually know what is expected of us from this and all these things. And like, I rewatched it recently and I was like, this was high quality. Like, this was really good. But then literally we finished it, I edited it, and like, I'm not even kidding. It was less than 7 days later. I think I had left to go see my best friend in Milwaukee, come back, and I was saying to them, there's this thing coming around, because I was wiping down all the surfaces, and they were like, we're in the Midwest. I don't think it's going to make its way here. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm still going to wipe everything down. And then getting back, and I remember sitting with Craig, and we were literally like, I don't know, maybe it won't get too bad. And where we were, and getting the text message about being like, okay, if we don't feel comfortable going to the parks, we can stop doing that. And then like an hour later, the announcement the parks were closing. And we were like, God, you take one afternoon to go take a little trip somewhere and the world falls apart.
Exactly. It does.
And all that work I had done
all
to do
that work.
It's like pointless because Fast Pass doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Because that's what it was all about. That was the hilarious thing. The one topic we decided to choose
Fast Pass
eliminated. Because we're like, that'll never go away.
Well, because we also filmed Know Before You Goes out at the Dreams Welcome Center with Sean about Disney Cruise Line.
Really?
And,
I forgot.
And it was all like, so it was a disaster. It was yours got canceled because we didn't know what it was going to look like if it opened back up, when it opened back up, and same thing with his. So it was like those Know Before You Before You Goes where like they were cursed from the absolute start. So, but that was also one of my favorite ones. Was then not those, but when the parks finally reopened, Deni and I were like, I'm not insulting anyone else from the team. Everyone went at their own comfortability rates, but Deni and I were like, okay, we're going to go and we're just going to go together. And so I think we did we do all four parks together?
3 of the 4. You did Animal Kingdom on your own.
I did Animal Kingdom on my okay. Yeah. Because we did the annual pass preview for Magic Kingdom, and then I went on the first official day, I think, full day of Magic Kingdom, and then we went to Epcot together, Hollywood Studios. I did Animal Kingdom by myself. Yeah. So
that was the most fun. That was just the most fun. That day, July 9th, being back in the park and going, okay, let's do this. And we've got our masks on everywhere because that's what you had to do at the time. And we just rode attraction after attraction and, walked through nearly empty walkways. And I just remember you and I were just, we were like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. And it was just so much fun.
No, it really was. No, we've had a lot of good ones together.
For sure.
Obviously, the biggest one, the last one that we ever had was Star Cruiser together.
That came, and I know we can't talk about as far as review or whatever, but that really.
I mean, you're leaving the company.
Well, this is true.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. The rules don't exist for you anymore.
I will at some point here share my 2 cents worth. I mean, that truly. It's good, Craig. I like how you think. No, this is that getting to be on the Star Cruiser. When you first asked the question, that it's the Halloween party, that first Halloween party, and it's the Star Cruiser.
Yeah,
it's having the opportunity to do something on that level is such an opportunity. It is such a gift. And I remember going, oh my gosh, okay, I gotta plan this out, gotta do. I almost wore my Star Cruiser jacket today. But I didn't. Like literally I was going to. So I will wear it at some point in the next week. But it getting to do that and help just tell the story of the Star Cruiser to people who aren't getting there yet or may never get there because it's cost prohibitive, whatever, was so much fun. And it was fun just to be a big kid for a while. I mean, the same thing with that first day back in the Magic Kingdom. All that was required of us was to share the experience with others. And I remember I was on Facebook Live and you're doing other, I think you were on YouTube Live at some point doing a live stream. And like you get to share the experience and be a big kid. And I will never forget the Star Cruiser and getting to be with you on the Star Cruiser and the wonderful Miss Kylie and all the experiences that we had on it. So much fun.
Yeah, it was so wild because that was easily one of the biggest things we've ever had to cover. I mean, in terms of grand scale with that, we've covered we've covered the parties and hotels, new lands, everything like that over the years. But something about Star Cruiser, it was just like, I think it was because we genuinely didn't know what was going to happen that it made everything about it like extra heightened and stressful and just like even in the days like we had between getting off and the embargo lift when we're trying to figure stuff out, like how do we talk about this without spoiling with any of it, without reviewing it? How do we do all of that? And that was like that was probably between that and the parks reopening. That was the highlights for me of our individual time together and projects that we worked on, because obviously there was a lot, but those ones were like, I can't think about Star Cruiser as great as my second time was. I've kind of, besides those highlight moments of interacting more with the Saja, I've kind of blanked that one out because it wasn't the first one. The first one was special. It was with the right people in the right environment. And so that will just be like lifelong memories for me.
I agree. And I'm right. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry about that.
No.
But I'm right there with you. But getting to, we have had the opportunity to step into some brand new Disney environments. And whether it's a hotel or it's a cruise ship like you all have already done, or it's something like the Star Cruiser, it's so much fun to walk in to something that's completely brand new. It's a little unnerving because like I'm looking at deck plans for the Wish for this weekend, because I'm like, I know this is completely different and I need to orient myself or I'm going to be overwhelmed. But they're like the Star Cruiser, we had no ability to gain information or understanding before taking that magical space elevator. So
yeah, that's funny.
Yep. It's fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It was.
Denny.
Yes.
Do you have any highlights from the shows? I mean, obviously the first show you hosted, but I'm saying outside of Off the Rails now, was there any outside of Best and Worst that you did with Rhino, outside everything we've already talked about, was there anything else that will always jump out to you, a favorite moment?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yes, getting to host the shows. What? Are you kidding me that I would get to literally just stop, because there have been so many moments where I've had headphones in my ears and I'm listening to the show over the years and listening to you all connect me when I was far away from the magic, connect me with the magic. So the fact that I got to sit here at this table or virtually, the first show I hosted was virtually. It was via remote. And I just remember sitting there on the end of our guest bed saying a little prayer before everything went live, like, okay, please help this to go well. And it did. It was so much fun getting to do that. And then getting to sit here at the table. And of course, the just being here with all of you, because Rhino, and I said this to you the other day, that just having you to my left on those moments made a huge difference. Just having you there, it was like you were my little, you're my little comfort animal right there, my little comfort Rhino.
I don't want to interrupt. Well, it wouldn't be a show if we weren't interrupting Deni. So I feel like we have to.
Hello, please.
I have to interrupt you.
Why should this be any different?
He is the Falcon to your Captain America.
You're on my left.
I feel like
now I'm going to cry, Craig. Stop.
It's like
stop.
I feel like I'm more of the robot, the red bot thing that Sam has, but that's fine.
No, you're definitely you're a Falcon to Deni's Captain America.
Falcon's pretty cool,
and I am clearly Thanos. So.
You are. No, and what I was going to say was you're on my left, and the entire time I'm trying to keep locked eyes with you, Craig, because you are either, depending on how things are going, you can be expressive, and so I am exactly. And so I'm taking cues from you, and of course, everything with the countdown. When in those moments where everyone is ready at the table, and it's the countdown into the intro of the show, it can be really, really, it can be a little stressy. So it was great having you there because you always knew what was going down at all times, and so I depended on you so greatly, and and of course the time at which I completely flubbed the opening of it, like that has to be the best moment ever. And I just loved, Rhino, I just loved that you were able to in that moment go, I don't even know what you said. I'll have to rewatch it. But you were kind of like, I think we've done that, or
what are you waiting for?
Exactly. And so it was fun to be able to laugh here among friends. But another chunk of that really rises to the surface, and this is another thing that I've rewatched fairly recently, was your idea to do a reader's theater of the Carousel of Progress for the marathon. I will literally never forget that. That was so much fun getting to do that for the marathon. What was that? Was that 2020?
It was, that was 2020, and it was a nightmare to record because we were doing it on Zoom, but we were trying to do it on free Zoom where we only had the 40 minutes and no one was able to get connected like at the right time all together. So then we did it with Fergie, and Fergie was like, hey, I actually pay for Zoom, so we can just do it on mine. And then connection issues and like mishaps with people forgetting their lines, or no one memorized their lines, forgetting which lines were theirs. It just, it was a train wreck, but that final product, came out good.
You did a great job with all the editing because you put in little cues and little, just snippets here and there. And it's just so good. And the fact that Fergie was in it, that's chef's kiss. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got to ask one jerk question real quick, and then I'm going to ask you a serious one. The jerk question was, you were always a fan of podcast cruises. Before you worked for the Diz, you went on... You didn't go on all of them, but many of them.
I went on two.
Two. So you went on a couple of them. Yep. How was it finally getting to be a part of Podcast Cruise as a team member?
You're such a jerk, Craig Williams. Such a jerk.
Okay.
It was fantastic. Thanks, Craig. Back to you. No, are you kidding me? The irony was not lost on me that morning. It was not lost for freaking. You got to be kidding me! I have a moment to actually be able to go on a podcast cruise and be a part of the team, and I cannot go.
The best part is we talked about it like separately. I think everyone did at one point in time, all saying like, okay, if our person that we were going on the ship was tested positive, would we have still gone?
Yeah.
And it was kind of 50-50 to what people were saying. Like Rhino was fine going because his friend CJ went with him. So that would have been an easy person to ditch. But like, I don't know if I would have had to, I don't know if I could have ditched Kylie.
With DCL's policy, I had no choice.
Man.
So because we were listed on the same reservation, because I had to.
What if you don't live together?
If
Because CJ and I were same reservation, but we have different addresses.
Yeah. Even then, from what I understand, even then, if you have a linked reservation, it'll flag everybody. And so my first call was to Pete, who obviously was concerned, and he was very empathetic, which was nice. And then he said I needed to call John because I needed to do something about this with DCL. That sucked. That phone call was such a bummer. Not with John, with DCL. So I called John. John said, yes, you got to call DCL. And as soon as I got on the phone with the DCL rep said, oh, party foul. And I said, yeah, it is. But it was, they were not going to let just me go. And obviously. And I never got COVID. I'm thankful for that. But that was not a fun week, Craig. Thank you for bringing it up.
You're very welcome. See, I would have lie. I would have been like, listen, my wife, she doesn't love me anymore. She left. She left me.
We don't live in the same home anymore.
Yeah. So, of course, she's not coming on the cruise. Nothing COVID related. She just don't love me.
Gotcha.
Okay. The final question, and then we'll wrap it up because we've got to go here. But is there? What do you see yourself? I know, obviously, you're still in Orlando. You're working for Give Kids the World. Yeah. You are still going to be going to Disney all the time. What's like one Disney thing that you want to make sure you do in the future still? Like, that's still like, I know even though I'm not working for the Diz, as a fan, I need to do this.
The holiday cookie stroll. I mean.
Ending with a classic.
Hello. I'm gonna be there after work eating all the things, shoving all the food in my face. I just won't be talking to a camera as I'm doing so, which I don't know what I'll do with myself. I'll just sit there and eat. But it's my happy place. And so what I used to do after work, if you had a long day or whatever, I would head to the parks. Even if my husband was working late, it would just be me tromping around, eating all the things and taking pictures of Remy if it was during Food and Wine, the little Remy statuettes. And so I know I'll still be there riding rides and having fun. And I'll say things on social media, I'm sure, because I have 2 cents to share. And for some reason, I feel like sharing it sometimes. So I do. So that'll be fun to get to do that. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch you guys continue to experience all the fun things as you cry
please
into your keyboard.
Please.
But
no.
But I will. Yeah.
Good. Well, Deni, you have made this such a happy place.
Oh,
so thank you so much. I know we already said our sincere thank yous on the Tuesday show when you announced you were leaving. And so I said on this one that I was going to give you the proper send off. So again, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Appreciate it. And but sincerely, this has been some of the greatest, most fun, it's made not only the people enjoying our conversations, but then also us having the conversations have made this one of the most meaningful parts of this job. So thank you so much for being a part of it. It truly would not have been what it was without you.
Thanks.
So
Frank.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me be a part of the conversation because it is always a blast. Always so much fun. I cherish it all. So thank you, Rhino.
I already
Thank
said
you,
nice
Frank.
things on the other
No,
show.
you did.
Okay. Well, I think.
But
Thank you for having me here.
I do thank you for literally being like a buoy in the ocean for me. What feel like when you're just floating and you don't know what's going on, and especially with the COVID stuff and us working together, and it was just like you were always, you and obviously Brian as well at times, but you were always somebody who was like, I hear what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see you. You make me feel seen, and I think that can't ever be that can never be valued enough.
I appreciate that. You both are very, very dear people, and I will always treasure the moments I have gotten to hang out with you.
But guys, what about me?
Yeah, Jackie also wanted to say goodbye too.
Jackie, thank you, Jackie. And
Jackie, I don't think would be able to speak
Jackie,
at this moment in the show if she was here.
And Jackie and I will get to have coffee on the ship next week. We've already decided we are doing that, and we're going to really soak up being on that magical ship. She cannot wait until she gets to step foot on the Wish. Cinderella is her favorite. And
okay. She's going to enjoy.
Yes. And all things pixie dust, as we know, she loves them very much. So I'm looking forward to that time with her for sure. So thank you so much, guys.
No,
You're the
you.
best.
Thank you.
The
no,
best.
Nothing. No, thank you to us.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. And with that, we are going to go back on the rails. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and having this conversation with me, including, of course, Rhino and Deni. And if you enjoyed this, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Craig.
What?
What about Jackie? I can't do a good Jackie voice.
No,
you
can't.
guys.
There you go. You're starting to roll back into it.
Oh,
Love her.
It was those Magic Kingdom
so
episodes.
swell.
So those were highlights because she wasn't with us for any of them until we got to Fantasyland. So you really dived into her accent during those points.
I'm not in research mode.
Yeah.
I have to get
It's
into
fine.
the character
There
of
you go.
Jackie Gailey.
Yes.
It's fine. So if you did enjoy
Seattle.
this,
Coffee,
There it
cruising.
is.
okay.
Yes.
Pete is about to bust down the door yelling at us. If you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, and video suggestions in the comments section below. And if you are listening to this, make sure you subscribe to Off the Rails wherever you listen to podcasts. And if it's a place where you can leave a rating and review, please do so. And of course, you can always book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. That's it for this week's episode of Off the Rails, though. Again, thank you for everything. Everyone watching, listening, thank you, Deni.
Thank you.
Appreciate you the most.
Thank you, Frank.
And we'll see you
Frank.
again real soon next time we go Off the Rails. Take care. Bye-bye.